Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Ahmad Wahid Khan, PGR, Community Medicine Department, King Edward Medical University. Today, the topic of my presentation is air pollution and monitoring of the air pollution. Learning objectives. By the end of this presentation, participants will be able to describe air pollution, its types, natural and man-made air pollutants, different air pollutant, how to monitor air pollution and ways of preventing and controlling air pollution. Learning outlines. What is air pollutant, type of air pollutant, effects of air pollutants, indoor air pollution, monitoring of air pollution, prevention and control of air pollution, recent updates and MCQs. Air Clean, dry air consists primarily of nitrogen 78% and oxygen 21% by volume. The remaining 1% is a mixture of other gases, mostly argon 0.9%, along with trace amounts of carbon dioxide, methane, hydrogen, helium, water vapor, and more. Air pollution is contamination of indoor or outdoor environment by any chemical, physical, or biological agent that modifies the natural characteristic of the atmosphere. Air pollution kills an estimated 7 million people worldwide every year. Almost all of the global population, 99%, breathe air that exceeds WHO guideline limits containing high level of pollutant. Low and middle income countries suffering from highest exposure. Types of air pollution. The primary air pollutant emitted directly into the atmosphere from a source such as a factory, chimney, or exhaust pipe, or through suspension of contaminated dust by the wind, e.g., O2, CO2, or NO2, SO2, possible to measure the amount emitted at the source itself. Secondary pollutant, harmful substance formed in the atmosphere when a primary air pollutant react with the substance normally found in the atmosphere like O2, water, or with other air pollutants, e.g. ozone. These are the source of air pollution which include man-made like industry, natural volcanoes, wildfire, man-made power stations, and man-made burning fuel at home. Meteorological factors. Earth's atmosphere extends to several layers above the surface. Man is mostly concerned with 8 to 10 kilometers of atmosphere. Level of atmospheric pollution at any one time depend upon meteorological factors like topography, air movement, and climate. If topography is dominated by the tall building and mountains, the winds become weak and calm and pollutants tend to concentrate in breathing zone. The vertical diffusion of pollutant depends upon the temperature gradient. When there is rapid cooling of lower layers of air temperature inversion, there is little vertical motion and the pollutant and water vapors remain trapped at the lower level and result in smoke. Carbon monoxide is one of the most common and widely distributed air pollutant. It is a product of incomplete combustion of carbon containing materials such as in automobiles, industrial process, heating facilities, and incinerators. Carbon monoxide estimates of man-made carbon monoxide emission vary from 350 to 600 million tons per annum. It varies with the density of petrol-powered vehicle and most cities have carbon monoxide peak levels that coincide with the morning and evening rush hours. The fluctuation in ambient concentration is only slowly reflected in the carboxyhemoglobin level in humans as it takes 4 to 12 hours for approximate equilibrium between air level and blood levels to occur. The environmental concentration tend to be expressed in terms of 8 hours average concentration. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include nausea, breathlessness, collapse, dizziness, loss of consciousness, and headache. Carbon monoxide affecting the climate. When carbon monoxide is emitted into the atmosphere, it affects the amount of greenhouse gases which are linked to climate change and global warming. This means that land and sea temperature increase, changing to ecosystem, increasing storm activity and causing other extreme weathers event. Sulfur dioxide is a man-made source of combustion of fossil fuel. Effect of SO2 on health can affect the respiratory system and the function of lungs. Inflammation of the respiratory tract cause coughing, mucus secretion, aggravation of asthma, and chronic bronchitis, and make people more prone to infection of respiratory tract. Causes irritation of eye, hospital admission for cardiac disease and mortality increase on day with higher SO2 levels. SO2 concentration of 500 microgram per cubic meter should not be exceeded over average period of 10-minute duration. Studies include that a proportion of people with asthma experience changes in pulmonary function and respiratory system after periods of exposure to SO2 as short as 10 minutes. Oxide of nitrogen. Emission of oxide of nitrogen occur predominantly in the form of nitric oxide, which comprises around 95% of nitrogen oxide from combustion source. Coal is the most important fuel in this context. Other sources are road traffic, electricity generation. The pollutant of far greater concern in relation to human health is nitrogen dioxide. NO2 epidemiological study have shown that the symptoms of bronchitis in asthmatic children increase in association with long-term exposure to nitrogen dioxide. Reduced lung function growth is also linked to nitrogen dioxide at concentration currently measured in the cities of Europe and North America. The nitrogen dioxide poisoning symptoms include eye, nose, or throat irritation, breathing problems, coughing up blood. The current WHO guideline values of 40 microgram per cubic meter set to protect the public from the health effect of gases. Nitrogen dioxide remain unchanged from the level recommended in the previous AQGs. Ozone is at ground level, not to be confused with the ozone layer in the upper atmosphere, is one of the major constituent of photochemical smoke. The highest level of ozone pollution occur during period of sunny weather, causes smoke. Health effect of ground level ozone exposure, breathing symptoms, worse lung function, asthma, emphysema, exacerbation, increase emergency room visit and hospitalization, missed work and school days, heart attack. In Europe, it is currently one of the air pollutant of the most concern. Several European studies have reported that the daily mortality rises by 0.3% and that for heart disease by 0.4 per 10 microgram cubic meter increase in ozone exposure. The previously recommended limit, which was fixed at 120 microgram per cubic meter of 8-hour mean, has been reduced to 100 microgram per cubic meter based on recent conclusive association between daily mortality and ozone level occurring at the ozone concentration below 120 microgram per cubic meter. Particulate matter, it consists of a complex mixture of solid and liquid particles of organic and inorganic substance dispersed into the atmosphere. The major component of PM are sulfate, nitrates, ammonia, sodium chloride, black carbon, mineral dust, and water. Particles are generally classified by their size measured in the micrometer, 1 million or millionth of a meter. PM10 include those inhalable particles that are sufficiently small to penetrate to the thoracic region. PM2.5, a size fraction with a high probability of deposition into the smaller conducting airways of and alveoli. By definition, PM10 include PM2.5 and thoracic coarse mass PM. The difference between PM10 and PM2.5 is referred to as coarse mass PM. WHO Air Quality Guidelines for Particulate Matter for PM 2.5 annual mean 10 microgram per cubic meter, 24 hours mean 25 microgram per cubic meter. For PM 10 annual mean 20 microgram per cubic meter, 24-hour means 50 microgram per cubic meter. Health hazard of particulate matter 2.5. Short-term exposure up to 24-hour duration have been associated with premature mortality, increased hospital admissions for heart, lung causes, and acute and chronic bronchitis, asthma attack, emergency room visit, respiratory symptoms, and restricted activities day. Long-term exposure has been linked to premature death, particularly in people who have chronic heart or lung disease and reduced lung function growth in children. For PM10, short-term exposure have been associated primarily with worsening of respiratory disease, including asthma and COPD, leading to hospitalization and emergency department visit. The International Agency for Research on Cancer published a review in 2015 that concluded that particulate matter in outdoor air pollution cause lung cancer. Indoor air pollution. The indoor environment represent an important micro environment in which people spend a large part of their time each day. As a result, indoor air pollution originating from both outdoor and indoor sources is likely to contribute more to population exposure than the outdoor environment. Common indoor problems are moisture, VOCs, chemicals, smoking, dust, pets. Source of indoor pollutions are cooking, poor ventilation, freshly painted room, scented items, pet danger, high people density, smoking. Monitoring of air quality, air pollution. The best indicator of air pollution are sulfur dioxide, smoke, and suspended particles. These are measured on a daily basis over several sites. The results are then collected by a central agency. Sulfur dioxide, this gas is a major contaminant in many urban and industrial areas. Its concentration is estimated in all air pollution surveys. Smoke or soiling index, a known volume of air is filtered through a white filter paper under specified condition and stain is measured by photoelectrical meter. Smoke concentration is estimated and expressed as microgram per cubic meter of air as an average level over a period of time. Grits and dust measurement deposit gauzes collect grit, dust, and other solid. These are analyzed monthly. Coefficient of haze factor used particularly in the USA in assessing the amount of smoke or other aerosol in air. Air pollution index, it is an arbitrary index which take into account one or more pollutant as a measure of severity of pollution. Example, the following index has been used in USA 10 times the sulfur dioxide concentration plus twice the carbon monoxide concentration both in ppm by volume plus twice the coefficient of haze. It was considered to be a cause of alarm when the value of this index rose from its value of about 12 to 15 or more. Prevention and control of air pollution method for controlling gases polluted. The air pollution caused by the gases pollutant like hydrocarbons, sulfur dioxide, ammonia, CO can be controlled by using three different methods. Combustion, the organic air pollutant are subjected to flame combustion, which convert them to less harmful chemical like CO2 and harmless product like water. Absorption in this method pollutant air containing gases. Pollutant is passed through a scrubber containing a suitable liquid absorbent. The liquid absorb harmful gases pollutant present in air. Adsorption. Polluted air is passed through porous solid adsorbents kept in suitable containers. Gases pollutants are absorbed at the surface of solid porous and clean air pass through. Method of controlling particulate emission. Mechanical device gravity. In this process, the particulate settle down by the action of gravitational force and get removed. Sudden changes in direction of airflow bring about separation of particles due to greater momentum. Number two, wet scrubber used to trap SO2, NH3, and metal fumes by passing the fumes through water. Electrostatic precipitators, when the pollutant air containing a particulate matter is passed through an electronic precipitator. It induces electric charge on particles, and then the aerosol particles get precipitated on electrodes. Fabric filters remove particles from the contaminated gas stream by depositing the particle on fabric matter. Recent update. Pakistan Country Climate and Development Report, November 2022. Pakistan urgently needs significant investment in climate resilience to secure its economy and reduce poverty. Islamabad, this year, heat wave and devastating floods are a reminder that climate changes induced disaster can significantly set back Pakistan development ambition and its ability to reduce poverty. This disaster has caused more than 1,700 deaths and displaced more than 8 million people. The damage to infrastructure, asset, crops, and livestock has been also been very massive, with more than 30 billion dollar in damage and economic losses. The World Bank Group's country climate and development report for Pakistan is released today concluded that the country need fund shift in its development path and policy requiring sustainable investment in people-centric climate adaptation and resilience that will require international support. Uh, To this end, this report offer a three-phase roadmap. Phase one set the condition for airspace-wide coordination by expanding the monitoring of air pollution beyond the big cities, sharing data with the public, creating or strengthening the credible scientific institutes that analyze airshed, and taking a whole of government approach. Phase two is abatement intervention are broadened beyond the traditional target for of power plant, large factories, and transportation. During this phase, major progress can be made in reducing air pollution from agriculture, solid waste management, cook stoves, brick kilns, and other small firms. At the same time, airist-wide standard can be introduced. Phase 3 economic incentives are finely tutored to enable private sector solution to address distributional impact and to exploit synergies with climate changes policy in this phase. Trading of emission permit can also be introduced to optimize abatement across jurisdiction and firms. MCQs. Question number one: if an air pollutant released or formed in the atmosphere, which one of the following will least likely to result in the long-term environmental damage to an ecosystem? Option A is
B.
ozone, option B is mercury, option C is lead,
B.
D is the right answer, carbon dioxide. Question number two, ozone O3 is formed by a chemical reaction of nitrogen oxide and VOCs in the presence of sunlight. Which one is the true regarding the which one is true regarding it? Option A is ground ozone.
C.
Ground ozone is hazardous secondary air pollution. Yes, it's a right answer. Question number three, carbon monoxide is considered as air pollutant in high quantities. How carbon monoxide emitted by automobiles prevent transport of oxygen in the body tissue? Option A, changing oxygen into the carbon dioxide. Option B,
C.
yes,
C.
C is the right answer. Question number four, the air pollutant involved in increasing the acidity of rain by a chemical reaction with rain water and a cause of acid rain is option A, C, CO.
C. Sulfur.
Yes, C is the right answer.
Mhm.
Que- Question number five is one of the following air pollutant that is released by fuel consumption of volcano eruption causing serious respiratory tract problem and is it culprit for yellowish discoloration of Taj Mahal? Options are
A. Carbon oxide. Carbon monoxide.
no, C is the right answer. So two. Question number six. PM consists of a complex mixture of solid and liquid particles of organic and inorganic substance dispersed into the atmosphere. Choose the correct option. Option one is PM.
A.
A is the right answer. Particulate matter 2.4 is more hazardous than the PM10. Which of the following is not likely to happen with rising level of CO in atmosphere? Option A, rise in sea level. Option B, change in location of desert. Option C, melting of glacier.
D.
D is the right answer, skin cancer. Question number 8. A child residing in paint factory has a low intelligence quotation IQ level, less attention span and marked antisocial behavior. What is the cause of impaired neuropsychological development in the children? Option
B.
A,
Lead.
B is the right answer. Yes. Question number 9. In combustion method of controlling organic gases, pollutants are subjected to flame combustion. How it works? Option A converted to harmless product. Option B converted to solid particle and then dispose.
A.
A is the right answer. Question number 10. A woman was cooking food in poorly ventilated rooms on wooden sticks for a long period of time. Initially, she feels headache, dizziness, and nausea. Then she experienced shortness of breath and of a loss of consciousness. She collapsed with one of the fall offending agent. Option A is C.
A. Carbon monoxide.
Yes, C is the right answer. Here is the key of these MCQs. These are the references to which this presentation has been made. Thank, thank you.